that being said, don't be crazy. Don't be pushing people to the ground, and don't be driving through their house. That's just property damage. Y'all don't need that. We don't need that. We don't want to see that. But man, so with that being said, we're going to jump into the next one. Woman is mistakenly arrested for murder. She speaks out, sues police and APS. We're going to jump into this one. Let's see what happened here.
She was the Albuquerque teen mistakenly jailed for murder. A year later, she's telling her story. Well, filing a lawsuit.
A year later,
the city
tell your
police
story.
And the school district. News 13's Jackie Kent is live at.
What's up? I don't know who just jumped into the live, but welcome to the live. I'm just talking about a woman that was mistakenly arrested for murder, speaks out, sues police and APS. You know, the craziness in Albuquerque, or at least New Mexico.
High school to explain.
Giselle Estrada was 17 years old last fall when she was pulled from class on murder charges, then put in jail for nearly a week. She says she's still trying to move on from the incident.
17 years old, you're in class, you get pulled out of class because they are accusing you of murder and they arrest you. And you stay in jail for a... Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It wasn't right what they did to me. I just hope this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Misidentified as a murder suspect. Okay.
Estrada's attorneys in the lawsuit say an APS employee misidentified Estrada as the suspect who plotted the July 2019 murder of Calvin.
I would be so upset if I was in class, minding my own business, trying to get my education on, right? And out of nowhere, they just pull me out and they misidentify me and be like, you're wanted for murder. I'll be like, what the heck is going on here? I'm just trying to get my education on. And you're over here accusing me of murder. It does not make any sense. I don't like it. Like, I would be so upset.
Kelly, who was killed during a robbery setup outside the retreat apartments at Candelaria. Estrada was in custody on murder charges until further investigation revealed the actual suspect was 17-year-old Alexis Pina. She's accused of luring Kelly into the parking lot where two men held him up at gunpoint and one of them shot Kelly in the back. Now, more than a year after Estrada's wrongful arrest, she's filing this lawsuit against APD, APS, and the city. She says she was treated like a violent criminal while detained. She didn't eat, barely slept, and was repeatedly strip searched. One of her attorneys says APD could have done more research to ID the actual suspect, and that the warrant for Estrada's arrest should have never been granted because of how she was identified.
There was no effort to investigate whether Giselle had any history of getting in trouble or criminal history. There was no even prior questioning prior to issuing the warrant.
Estrada did graduate from Albuquerque High back in May. She says as for moving forward with her life, she now has a hard time trusting police, and she worries she'll have a hard time finding a job with that false murder charge on her record, even though it was dropped. APS said it would not comment on the pending litigation, and APD did not respond to our request for a comment on the lawsuit. Back to you.
Of course, APD ain't gonna comment on the lawsuit. They ain't done. Man, like, imagine that, having on your record that you were accused of murder, even though it was dropped. It was a false murder charge. Imagine that being on your record, a false murder charge. How in the world? I would, man, I would feel like life is like a big old handicap against you, right? You know what? All I could say is, you know what? I hope that this young lady is able to live a great life despite all of that. And know what? Sue APS, sue APD. Sorry, I kicked something. But yeah, sue them. Like, you don't even do your research. You get a warrant, you arrest the girl, and it's not even the right person. It's not even the right person. And you identify her based on what? Like, that don't make any sense to me whatsoever. I think that's very dumb. But I feel like that's just how our police here are. They just don't do their research. They just kind of jump the gun, and then stuff like this happens. It's very foolish and very stupid. And you know what? I don't rock with it. I don't rock with it at all, bro. So with that being said, man, you know what? That's crazy. I don't know how I would feel about that. I feel like I would, I don't even know. I would be flabbergasted if that happened to me. If I was falsely, if I was arrested for murder charges and I didn't even murder nobody. Like, seriously? Seriously? Just don't make any sense, bro. It just don't make any sense. But we're gonna get into the last video. YouTuber Sa Fomba